Ride or die. Cold, these brothers my guys. Know that they fly. Know that they fly. Know that they ride or die. CJ Ack, they ain't no longer about. They ain't no longer about. They ain't no longer about. CJ Ack, they ain't no longer about. Know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep waving my seat. Know that they ride or die. I keep waving my seat. We hustle, bust the line. Waving my seat. Know that they ride or die.
Good morning, everybody. I am Uncle Mike, your favorite gamer's favorite uncle. We are going to get flying up here. We've decided to just do a nice kind of chill flight here from Denver up to Seattle. But we're gonna go in a hot rod that I don't know if I've actually flown it on stream or anything like that. But we're going to take a nice business jet way up high into the flight levels. Got my coffee, so we can just go ahead and pretend that we are just, we got the money. Got money now. We've got our business jet. But as usual, let me go ahead and talk about a few things. One is that, after the recording here, I'll put chapters in the video. So if you are watching this after the live session, that you can go ahead and click to the portion that you like, whether it be takeoff, cruise, landing, whatever it might be, unless we have some type of an event happen, that will also be in chapters. Also, I'm running a contest to give away a $50 U.S. gift code, $50 U.S. Xbox gift code, once I reach 500 subscribers, so check that out down in the description below. My next live stream will probably be the Sunday after the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving. So in 1 week, that would be November 27th. I will skip Wednesday just because of the holiday. So if you are in the United States, have a wonderful holiday. And if you're not, then have a wonderful week. And I will be back in a week on November 27th, Sunday morning. Not really sure what I'll be doing then, but because we're getting then close to the end of the month, and then Christmas is coming up, so it's amazing how fast the year has seemed to just gone by. And with that, subscribe if you haven't, click that like button if you do, comment and share my YouTube channel with your friends, your family, and all of that, and come join me in chat in a future live stream. And with that, let's go ahead and game on. So here we are sitting in the Cessna Citation Longitude, November 36 uniform. Mike, that's my N number for all the airplanes, the custom airplanes that I own in Microsoft Flight Sim. But here we are sitting, I think we're sitting in here, runway 36 left. And ready to take off from Denver. I do have live weather on, so it's a beautiful day, it looks like, out here in Denver. And so we are going to be heading northwest up into Seattle, up over the mountains. I thought that would be nice to look down from flight level 440 we found. And we've got 440 seems to be our flight level. So we're going to get nice and high here. We are ready to go. So let's go ahead and jump in the cockpit. It is a beautiful modern cockpit, leather interior. Need you to come on, join me here in the right seat. Let's chat here in chat. But we are all set to go. They have cleared us direct to flight level 180 here on takeoff. Runway heading. This thing is a rocket ship. We are full of fuel, to say, so we're not as light as usual, but we are ready to go. I am ready to go here in the cockpit, and so I'm going to hand fly this for probably maybe up to maybe 10,000 feet, which we're already a mile high because we're in Denver here. So let's go ahead, and parking brake comes off, hold the brakes, And let's go ahead and bring some power in. Those engines spool up. And here we go. Brakes off. Power's coming in. Your speed's alive, 50 knots. This is all stick and trigger right here. 90 knots. Woo. Rotate. Positive rate, gears coming up. Look, it's already passing through 180 knots. Flaps coming up. Trim, trim, trim. Buckle area. Trim, trim, trim. And now we're going to pitch here. Come back on the power for the climb out.
Cessna uniform, Mike, contact Denver departure on 128.25. Good day.
Trim, trim, trim. We'll call ATC once we're ready. They might yell at us, but
128.25 for Cessna uniform, Mike. Denver departure Cessna November tree 6 uniform Mike is at 6,900 feet, climbing flight level 180.
look at this thing. Look at this thing. Why is my speed brakes up? Well, we're gonna accelerate now. Alright, we're gonna put the pitch here. Trim, trim, trim. Remember, below 250 knots, 10,000 feet. There we go, 10,000 feet. Get that speed. Get rid of that speed restriction. I don't think we have to make a call. They said just go as filed, so everything is looking good. There we go. That was weird. Why were the speed brakes up?
Generic November 0371 Corvette Denver departure altimeter 30.19er. Continue as planned. Cessna uniform Mike contact Denver Center on 125.905.
All right.
Good day.
I'm still hand flying this thing here.
Going to 125.9er 5 Cessna uniform Mike.
Go the handoff.
Denver Center Cessna November tree 6 uniform Mike is passing 13,700 feet, climbing flight level 180.
Cessna November tree
All right.
6 uniform Mike Denver Center
Autopilot's coming on.
21. Continue to KOAO as planned.
GPS is coming on, climbing to flight level 180 at 225. Auto throttle's coming in.
Denver Center Airbus November 459er29er is passing flight level
40, looking good.
Flight level 330.
Woohoo!
Airbus November 459er29er Denver Center. Continue to Gimmel as
Oh,
planned.
they give us a handoff. I need to know. Still climbing. Look at that. Look at the snow now. Woo! Because I got live weather on. Beautiful day climbing out of Denver for flight level 180. 17.5 going to 18,000.
Cessna uniform Mike climb and maintain flight level
260 going on up. Go ahead and acknowledge that.
Climb and maintain flight level 260 Cessna uniform Mike.
260. Flight level change. 225. Auto throttles are kicked in. We are set to go. Everything is looking good. You can see on the multifunctional display here our route. Get up here where we can look out over the nose. Beautiful. You can see all the other flyers here, all the other aviators in the game. I went ahead and put on name tags so you can see. So if you are interested in Microsoft Flight Simulator here on the Xbox Series X, these are all other humans. There's a guy flying F-16 all the way up at flight level 750. He's going for it. Somebody in the A310, that is our new Baja there, 250. These are the new study level Airbus 310. I've flown it once. It's actually spectacular. Guy flying the F-14 Tomcat back over there. I wouldn't be too surprised if we get buzzed here by, you know, one of these guys in the fighter here. But we're climbing up to flight level 260. That's what ATC has given us. I figured this would be a nice, fun flight. Didn't expect the weather to be perfect for a coffee, so I hope you're out there. You got your coffee. As we have taken this beautiful Cessna Citation Longitude. I think it was called like the Citation X at one time. I did my internship for my aerospace engineering degree at Cessna Aircraft Company. That was back in the day when the little Citation jet was in flight testing. I worked on the basically the 367, actually what they called back then. Citation 3, 6, and 7. Everything's looking good. Coming up on flight level 260. But we are good now. We've got auto throttles on. This bird is amazing. Just so modern, push button stuff. Just absolutely amazing. But auto throttles are on. Whatever. Go ahead and have her speed up here to 250. Woo! Here we go. Here we go. Let's acknowledge that.
Climb and maintain flight level
44,000 feet. Highest I've ever been is 41,000 feet in a business jet. That's when I was at Cessna Aircraft Company. So here we go. Go ahead and roll it back to 225 indicated. Flight level change. Auto throttles are on, and we are climbing out here of Denver. Good day to you. So acknowledge that.
Going to 125.9 generic 17 Quebec.
.9 for Cessna uniform, Mike. Denver Center Cessna November tree.
Look out of the nose.
Mike is at flight level 285, climbing flight level 400.
Cessna November tree, 6 uniform Mike, Denver Center. Continue to YAMMI.
Yeah, we are on track. Everything is looking good in the neighborhood. Down over here, let's bring up flight plan. Let it load in. There we go. In case we need it, you never know.
Denver Center, generic November tree, 6333 Zulu is at flight level 335, climbing flight level 340.
Look at that, this is beautiful. What a beautiful day.
Generic November tree, 633 Zulu Denver Center, continue as planned.
The snow out here in the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. Rocky Mountains High, Colorado. Got other players out here this morning. Baja down there flying in the Airbus 310. That is our new study level aircraft. As we are climbing up to flight level 440. We're gonna go ahead and Click that to Mach. Maybe we can go ahead and speed up here a little bit. Get that nose down. And just do a little bit slower climb here. We don't need. Anyway, I guess we could probably rocket ship up, but we'll get up there. This is just a beautiful bird right here. Ah, wow, this is amazing.
Generic Niner 2 Yankee contact. Cheyenne departure on 124.55. Good day.
They continue to upgrade the avionics, both the Garmin, like, you know, what is it, 530 and the 450 and G1000. I guess this is a G3000. But we haven't got an upgrade for that, but still, it is just simple to use. Works great here on the console, on the Xbox. Let's go ahead and center our heading bug on our course, just in case when you go into heading mode, that way we don't get a turn if we need to switch modes here. So what I'm doing here, just as a aerospace engineer, if you look right down here, you can see the angle of attack. And so that's actually what I'm kind of climbing out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have, oh, we're going to 44. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to speed up here. Try to get that angle of attack. We're at our waypoint, we're making the turn. Let's go ahead and let's see if we continue in the climb, or if we love. Yeah, we got a climb still going. At some point when we get up here to 44,000 feet, we're going to be a pretty good angle of attack, just because we are so close to our service ceiling. We'll get over here. We'll rocket ship over to Seattle. We just go over the Northern Rockies. It's beautiful up here. Absolutely amazing.
Denver Center, generic November 019er 2
We are still rocket shipping up. I'm gonna have this climb at about Mach 0.8. There we go. I would imagine she's got it probably a red line speed of like Mach 0.85. There it comes right there. That's probably, yeah, it's probably Mach 0.85. It's kind of standard for a bird like this. Let's come over here, see if we can play around with some stuff over here in the multi-function display. Let's go home. We'll see what we got here.
Cessna uniform Mike climb and maintain flight level 440.
Yeah, we got it, 440. We're getting there.
Maintain flight level 440 Cessna uniform Mike.
All right, so we got track up there. We got a right crosswind, so we don't have a tailwind, so we can really get boogieing. Let's see if we can just click on that. Does that no? We've got the wind over there, but I'm trying to see if I can bring up the wind on this panel, but I don't think so. Speed bugs, are they all? Nope, they're not on. So let's go ahead and turn all those on for landing. Those are now. All right, we got some time here. We're at flight level 2, or at 424, going to 440. Ooh, we are way up here. So we get up here at 440. Let's go ahead and level off. let everything level off, and then we'll let's go ahead and zoom out so you can really see. Here we go. That throttle comes way back as we get the nose coming down. We are approaching level. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that is amazing. All right. Let's go ahead and push the 0.84. Yeah, all about right. 0.850. We're going to go ahead and push this to 840 Mach. Get cruising here. What's our ground speed? 427 knots. True airspeed, 460 knots. We'll get here about 440 knots or something like that, probably. Yeah. 500 and something miles an hour. Oh, yeah. Just a beautiful airplane inside. Amazing aircraft outside. Look at that. Look at that wing. It's almost like a glider wing, just that winglet curving right in. Oh. And there we are in the cockpit. Look at us. There's Uncle Mike in his flight suit and flight helmet. There's Aunt Cindy. Oh yeah, we're just cruising. Passing over the Northern Rockies out of Denver on our way to Seattle. Come over here. You can pretend you can just jump in the right seat with me. Come in here and you can chat. See where we are. Let's go ahead and get that flight plan back up. There we are. It's all touchpad, which is pretty cool. There's the arrival. We're doing the Sky K01 arrival. Looks like. Approach is done to 16 left. Yep, that's what I remember. Everything's looking good. All right. We got some time here. We're just cruising up here at flight level 440 at Mach 0.840 at 400, and ground speed. We got this wind is not helping us, so at 446 knots. That's wicked. That is wicked. You know, I guess it would be really interesting, and it would be a lot of fun if we get like the Embraer, was it like 150 or something like that? You know, the little Embraer that's got, you know, little turbo fans out on the wing, because that's reminiscent of our senior design project that we did in college for aerospace engineering. So that'd be neat to have that. Right now we got the Airbus 320 Neo, and now the Airbus 310, 747, 787. It'll kind of be neat to have those smaller airliners here on the console eventually. Probably get there. We'd probably get there, you know. Give it time. Give it time. But here we are now. Up at the high flight level, 44,000 feet. Flight level 440. So, and then you just take a look at this just beautiful mountains coming out of Denver. Those are all other human aviators back there flying around the Denver area, looking for other contrails. I don't see anybody looking like doesn't look like they're heading to Seattle with us. I have not brought this up on SkyVector. I didn't plan. I just playing this right in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we were out. Oh. Good day to you.
126.5 for Cessna Uniform, Mike. Denver Center, Cessna November, Tree 6 Uniform, Mike, flight level 440.
Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike, Denver Center, continue to DDRTH as planned.
Yeah, we're going over to some beautiful mountains. And we're basically going to wrap around and come in from the north because we're going to land on run 6 left up here in Seattle. Look at that. Look at that big old mountain right off the nose here. It's amazing how Microsoft Flight Simulator does the weather, especially the live weather. But it looks like just a beautiful day out here in the Northwest. Early snow of the year. What are we coming up here? Is that Dorth? Get down here and see what that waypoint is. DD, and we're on the way to Jugiv. I don't know.
Cessna Uniform Mike, contact Denver Center on 132.1. Good day.
Good day to you. We are just up here.
132.1 Cessna Uniform.
Crazy flight level. Being like Citation Max, the YouTuber, up here in our beautiful Cessna Citation Longitude.
Denver Center, Cessna November, Tree 6 Uniform, Mike, flight level 440.
Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike, Denver Center, continue to Jugiv as planned.
I did that. Alright, so yeah, I know where we're at. We are heading up here to Central Wyoming Regional Airport, which is up here by Riverton, Wyoming. So that is where we're heading toward. We're going up here, we're gonna go right up over Jackson Hole, Wyoming, looks like. I will just kind of keep it up over here on Sky Vector. Here we are on Sky Vector. This is Jackson Hole over here. This kind of script, and we're back just off the map over here where we're at. I will continue to monitor so I can do some sightseeing. Look at that. Oh yeah. Ooh, beautiful. Beautiful. Kind of an early, like it is right now, early morning. Got our coffee. Got a beautiful Cessna Citation Longitude biz jet. We are just going to go ahead and fly on up here from Denver to Seattle. Flight level 440. True airspeed is 472 knots. Ground speed 445 knots. We got a component of this 30 knot wind up here, so that's hurting us a bit, keeping us a little slow here in the sled. I'm gonna come over here and find out. Oh yeah, I got you. Trying to get us Get it programmed in here into Sky Vector. That way I have a little better idea of where we're at.
Generic 77 Charlie traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 320 generic. Report them in sight.
I kind of keep ahead of the flight here.
Generic 77 Charlie traffic in sight.
All right. Yep, looks like we are going to go right over Jackson Hole, which is beautiful national park. If we come down over here, and then the next one is Wade. Find out where that's at. That way I can show it to you where we're at if we're doing this flight. Wade, and then eventually
Generic 77 Charlie traffic
We'd at
alert. 10 o'clock less than 1 mile flight level 320 generic. Report them in sight.
all right, there we go. Now I got a better idea of our flight path. We're going north of
Generic
Jackson Hole.
77 Charlie have the generic in sight.
Denver Center Cessna, November tree, 6 uniform Mike requesting vector to next waypoint.
No,
Cessna uniform Mike continue to Jugiv turning and following heading
that's what it
tree
tells
line
us.
light, proceed on course.
Continue to Jugiv turning and following heading
See
tree
how
line.
accurate that was.
Navigation
335.
Cessna uniform Mike.
Yeah, not really. It tells us to turn 335, but we're already on course, so. All right, coming out of the snow here. Look at that. Look at the topography, though. Out here in the northwest. Amazing. You know, see, you do flights like this where you get way up high.
Denver Center, generic
You can look down, and then you go get like in the Zlin, like Savage Cub or Kit Fox. Then you can go explore an off-field land and really explore these areas, which you can't really do in real life, right? I mean, you can, but it's just too big of a world to explore all of this. Part of the reason why Microsoft Flight Simulator is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, we're just out here in the beautiful country here. We're gonna shoot up here up into Wyoming.
Generic 77 Charlie contact Denver Center on 126.
So we've actually already crossed into Wyoming. So we're in southern Wyoming. We'll cut across that.
126
We'll go north of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We'll make the turn and cut across a little bit of Idaho, and then most of Washington State over the Cascades and all that into Seattle.
Cessna uniform Mike contact Salt Lake Center on 133.25. Good day.
So acknowledge that handoff here. Flight level 440.
Going to 133.25.
Look at that. Look at that below us right here.
Mike.
Look at that. That's fascinating.
Salt
Look
Lake
at that.
Center,
Look at that
Cessna
vein
November
there
tree,
in the
6
rocks.
Mike flight level 440.
Salt Lake Center. Continue to Jugup as planned.
Wow. It's got to be like a fault line or something, right? Or where two plates came together. I mean, something. You can kind of see it. Just wow. Looking to see if there's anybody up here with November 36 uniform Mike, but I don't see any other contrails. We are just up here cruising. So it actually looks interesting. Looks like as we come up here, we're actually going to be crossing north of the Grand Tetons, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. But looks like we might have a nice view of Yellowstone National Park as we get up here. We got to pass. It'll be after we get past Jugup here. Looks like we'll pass almost right over the park. Have a nice view of Yellowstone Lake. I've been in real life fishing on Yellowstone Lake. Out over there somewhere, maybe out coming up out over there is the Grand Tetons. See if I can actually kind of locate where we're at. Yeah, I think that lake right there. It's really kind of hard to tell. Yeah, that series of lakes right off the right wing here. It looks to probably be part of the whole Pathfinder National Wildlife Refuge, which is north of Rawlins and Sinclair, Wyoming. We're heading out over parts of Wyoming where there's nothing. I mean, right now, there's just nothing. There's some roads, there's little tiny towns, but there is really nothing of real town consequence out here where we are flying. It is Wyoming wilderness out here. We are up here at flight level 440. Whew. True airspeed of 472 knots, doing Mach 0.84 at flight level 440. Everything's looking good. Engines are operating excellent here. This plane is just beautiful. Another part of the plane that I think is really awesome is how that curvature of the fuselage, the empennage there, going back to where the engine pylons are. That's cool. Yeah, nice job. This looks it almost makes it look like she's got hips. Woo. Yep, so mountains coming up. Like I said, we're gonna be crossing over where we got the Grand Tetons out over there, Yellowstone National Park. So we should have a nice view, maybe get some pictures. We'll have to check this out, but we got to get to our next waypoint here. So if we jump in the cockpit, we've got to get to the next waypoint, which is Jug Handle, which is in 30 miles. And that is over the town of Riverton, Wyoming. And then we'll go, and then it's about 2/3 of the way to the next waypoint, which is Wade. But then we'll see it, because we'll start getting into the mountains. So I'll go ahead and reset my view. There we go. Then let's go ahead and get, so you can see the mountains coming up here because of the snow. Should not be too hard to miss Grand Tetons and Yellowstone. I know we're at 44,000 feet, so, which is what, 5 miles up? So, well, sorry, 8 miles up. So, of course, it's not above the ground. But, we're going to be passing over terrain that, you know, 11,000 feet, 12,000 feet. So we're at, you know, we're 30,000 feet above the ground. Which is, you know, it's still respectable because that's a good 6 miles up. Look at some of this topography and geology. And then these roads. We're just out here in like kind of southern Wyoming ranch land. These are probably huge ranches down here because there's very little town that I can see here on the. I'm looking actually at the VFR sectional, so this is what I'm looking at of where we're kind of at. We're kind of down in the magenta line down there. We are, you know, kind of just coming into view of the magenta line. It's just like, wow, there's just nothing out there. There's no little yellow, you know, squares and all this kind of stuff of towns. This is Wyoming wilderness. Beautiful. And what a beautiful day. I mean, I turned on live weather, and you know, you don't know what you're going to get with live weather. And I didn't even look to see if it was going to be a nice day or anything here in live weather. Don't have anybody really flying up. I'm sure that once we get much closer to Seattle, that we will start to see some other aviators, some other traffic. It's just, you know, Denver to Seattle. Okay. You know, but I don't see any other contrails or anything like that out there, so we'll start to see more traffic when we get closer to there. And I kind of just wanted to make this flight because it's kind of just a chill flight for a nice chill morning of coffee. And I thought going over the mountains would be nice. When I did the transcontinental flight or the international flight. Oh, we're making our little turn here. Looks like. Yep, we're at Jugiv. So when I did the international flight in the 747 from Bordeaux, France to Seattle, Washington, this is the same runway we landed at there, 16 left. So, but I just thought a chill flight, getting the business jet here, and fly from Denver. I thought, you know, with the there's that right below us there. That is Central Wyoming Regional right there below us on the right wing, which is Kilo Romeo Indigo Whiskey. So there it is on Kilo Romeo Indigo Whiskey right there. The airport, we're going right underneath.
Generic 84 Yankee contact Denver Center on 132.1.
In the town of Riverton. Definitely see that that's up on a plateau, the airport. That's cool.
132.1 for generic 84 Yankee.
Now we're getting back into the high country. We'll go over some little towns. According to the VFR, I know we're flying IFR, but according to the VFR, or the VFR sectional here, we should be coming over. Maybe we'll be able to see it in oil field. Coming up here, I wonder if we'll be able to see that. Other than that, we're just going to get in the mountains, then eventually into the mountains that are surrounding Yellowstone National Park. So there's the lake that's on the VFR sectional. Yep. That is Ocean Lake. That's where we would we had a problem right here, we would go ahead and divert right there to regional. If we lost all the engines, we would glide. That would be where we go. Oh, somebody in a Cessna 310 Neon Raven. He's at 6,415 feet, so he's probably down on the ground somewhere. But yeah, Ocean Lake right there. Somewhere off the nose here, like right off the nose, is on the VFR sectional. It says that there is an oil field. So let's go see if we can pick that out. It might be in the snow, so it might be hard to pick out. I imagine it would be roads with little dots, you know, as all little roads go to the individual oil fields. Look at how those country roads are all gridded out for all those ranches and farms down there. Well, it looks like Neon Raven has launched because he is climbing out now. Cessna 310. We do not have the Cessna 310 on Xbox yet. I really would like the Cessna 310. It's one of my favorite looking airplanes. Depends on what flavor of the month it is. But it's just a good looking twin engine. Of course, I am a little, you know, partial to Cessna, so it would be nice to have a Cessna 310. Really like the Cessna Chancellor that we've got. It came out here. I like the old steam gauges. I like navigating. You know, with the modern GPS, you can literally just program it in and like we're doing here, just go. Just you don't have to VOR. Of course, VORs are really being phased out. All right, I'm looking for this oil field, but we're coming up. I see that on the chart, but it's like it's going to be in the snow, so I don't know if we're going to be able to really see it. That's us. Roger that. Good day to you too.
128.5 Cessna uniform Mike. Salt Lake Center, Cessna November Tree, 6 uniform Mike flight level 440.
Cessna November Tree, 6 uniform Mike, Salt Lake Center. Continue.
Did that. Again, if you are interested in airplanes, if you are interested in like Google Earth and exploring Google Earth, which I really like to do and stuff like that, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 on the Xbox Series X. So it's just absolutely amazing. We're looking for this oil field if we could actually see it, but I think it's going to be covered in snow, so we're not going to be able to see it. Should have a camp with it and stuff, and I can actually see that now. Get a little bit of clouds to see over here over the mountains. Again, live weather is on, so I have gone ahead and done that. We also have live traffic. So this is a Neon Raven there in the Cessna 310. That is another human player. We will also have live traffic from Flight Tracker that will pop up. So we were over these mountains, right over where Neon Raven. I think he's over at Jackson Hole. That should be the Grand Tetons range over there, and then we're gonna be passing, not directly over, but pretty close, right over the Yellowstone National Park Valley. So we just got to go over these mountains and get into the high plateau of Yellowstone. But we're going to be passing over Yellowstone Airport. So that would be our next. There's really nothing You know, right now, I mean, if we had a problem, we would probably do a 180 and head back, get out of the snow, because there's really nothing in front of us except for Jackson Hole, where it looks like where Neon Raven is over there. So flight level 440. Let's go ahead and just do a cockpit check, make sure everything's looking. Flight 440, Mach point 840. We are on track. Engines look good. Everything looks good. We had some weird thing happen. For some reason, the spoilers were deployed on takeoff, but this thing is so overpowered. So let's go ahead and jump into here. Let's get, there we go. That's the thumbnail view right there that I used to make the thumbnail for this morning's live stream. Yep, that is the Grand Teton Range right over the cockpit over there. Those you can't really see it, but over in the clouds. So that's where Jackson Hole, Wyoming is at. So Jackson Hole is like right over the cockpit. Grand Tetons are right over where Neon Raven is at. And then kind of right above the cockpit now, that is the Yellowstone Valley. So we should see some, maybe see some landmarks. Not sure what will load in from flight level 440, but all the geysers and all the hot springs, and obviously we'll be able to see Lake Yellowstone. It's a big old lake. Then we'll just cross over some mountains, and then the mountains will end in a little bit. And once the mountains kind of end, then we start to get into the valley.
Cessna Uniform Mike contact Salt Lake Center on 133.25. Good day.
Good day to you. 133.25. Make the switch and give him a call. Give him a call.
Salt Lake Center, Cessna November Tree, 6 Uniform Mike flight level 440.
Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike Salt Lake Center. Continue as planned.
Continue as planned. Got it. On the way. But yes, you can fly like formation. So if you want to get on here with friends and all that. Now this is on Game Pass, so if you're on Xbox, this is on Game Pass. But you can fly formation and stuff with friends. It's a lot of fun. I've done that with some other players. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just flying around the Tetons there in Jackson Hole. He's got a little bit more of a climb going. Not a lot though. But yep, that is the Grand Teton Range over there where Neon Raven is at. Grand Teton National Park is amazing. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and see some assistance. What do I have on? Nope, that's not what I want. Points of interest. Let's do landmarks. Come on. And that. There we go. All right. We'll turn those on. Did we do that correctly? Assistant. Points of interest. Landmarks are on. Fauna's on. Yep. Okay.
Frontier Niner 258 Heavy is at flight level 255 climbing flight level
330. Man, you gotta come up here where the big boys operate. Flight level 440. Uh-oh, Neon Raven, he's in a steep descent. Oh, now he's in a climb. He's in a descent. Maybe he's on the approach now. Definitely see how there's some weather there in the Grand Teton Valley, the Jackson Hole Valley.
Going to 127.75 generic 72 Golf.
because Jackson Hole Airport is at 6,451 feet. So maybe he's on the approach to landing into Jackson, Wyoming. Let's see what. Beautiful place to fly. We've flown in there before. Only a couple hundred feet now above the ground. Just taking a look. Yep, we're coming up here onto the Yellowstone River, or Yellowstone National Park Valley. He's only about 100 feet now above the ground. So he should be touching down here, according to what I see for the elevation of the airport. I would say he's probably down on the ground now, just a little bit of variance. Maybe he's doing a touch and go now. Alright, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and arm the ground spoiler, so we're ready for that. Cool thing is this thing actually does have drag buckets, which I think is cool. The old mechanical drag buckets out. That's awesome. So yep, there's the Grand Tetons poking out there, the clouds right above the cockpit. And then out over where the sea is of Cessna 310 there is Jackson Hole. And you come up the valley and then up over here, there's kind of the flat area up in here. This is all, you can see how it's if we're so high, you might be able to actually see the circle that, because Yellowstone National Park is basically a big caldera of a volcano.
Generic November 17571 Salt Lake Center. Continue as planned.
So right here, this is Yellowstone. It's obviously got snow and all this because it's wintertime now. But this is all that, you can kind of see that just stark white. That is Yellowstone Lake.
Salt Lake Center, generic November 9er 729er Papa is at flight level 30.
But you can see how you can see there's like the mountains above the cockpit, how they make, you know, we're passing into it now, but they basically make this huge circle. It's a giant caldera of a volcano. You can look up a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff about if, you know, Yellowstone National Park like literally like blew up as a volcano. It's a mega caldera. They're busy now up here on ATC, isn't it? Alright, let's jump in the cockpit. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to WEDAC next. WEDAC and then Fine Nut and Odessa. No. Fine Nut. I'll go ahead and look down, see if we can see some of the. Most of the stuff is right off the nose, like the classic stuff at Yellowstone National Park. So, see if we can see some of the geysers or hot springs or something like that. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and find Nut. Put it on our flight path so we know where we're at, and then Odessa. No, I don't know. Odessa. All right, yeah, there we go. We're getting a much better plan now. And just some beautiful mountains.
Cessna Uniform Mike contact.
That's us.
Lake Center on 1 tree 2.4. Good day.
1 tree 2.4 Cessna Uniform Mike. Salt Lake Center, Cessna
Let's see,
November
what is
tree,
that?
6 Uniform Mike flight level 440.
Cessna November tree 6 Uniform Mike Salt Lake Center. Continue to wait as planned.
We're passing over Lewis Lake and then Shun Lake right now.
Generic 8-1 tree contact Salt Lake Center on 128.35. Good day.
This is Yellowstone National Park we're flying over here in the snow.
128.35 for generic 8-1 tree.
Thought maybe some of the coloration of some of the hot springs would still load up, but of course we're at flight level 440 looking down here on the winter. It was like right down there, right off the nose. That's like Old Faithful. You can see that road. So, yep. Craig Pass right here, then down into the village and all that. You actually can see some of the little dots right on the nose. Those are all the waypoints for geysers and stuff of Yellowstone National Park down there. But yeah, we're not getting any of the cool colorization because we've loaded in snow and stuff like that. But that is Yellowstone National Park and Old Faithful and stuff down there. Taking a look. Out over off the nose here, you can see it right there next to the lake. You got an airport out there that we need to divert to. We're going to be passing right over. There's another we need to divert to also, right off the nose there. But right over here, that right off the nose there, that's Yellowstone Airport. So that's where we would divert to. Yeah, that's Yellowstone National Park below us. And again, if you can kind of see how there's this plateau, but all around it, almost like a circle, all around are mountains, and then that's like the flow, the lava flow of the huge mega caldera volcano that is Yellowstone National Park, which that right there in itself is amazing. Now you can see the Yellowstone Airport right off the nose. You can see it's still the high mountains that we've got to cross over. Then once those mountains end,
Salt Lake Center, generic November 1 tree 82 Tango is passing.
then we'll drop down into the low plateau. Start dropping down into the low plateau.
November 1 tree 82 Tango Salt Lake Center. Continue as planned.
We go real close to Lewiston, Washington. Which is right on the border. We cross over Idaho. Once we pass Weedak, we make a little bit of a turn at Weedak. waypoint. Then we're crossing into Idaho, go over Panhandle of Idaho, and then into Washington State. So crossing over at Dillon. We head up here to Wade. We've got, let's look on our smart bot here. We'll put it up over here. Do something like that. So we've got 28 miles to Wade. We'll cross over the town of Dillon. Then once we get to Wadak, and we're just about to cross into Idaho. So there, right below us there off the right wing, that is Yellowstone Airport. There's a landing strip right below us here, but it's not improved, but we'll be able to glide back over to there if we needed to. In case of emergency, that'll be right now our diversion. But everything is looking good, but that's some terrain we got out in front of us here. A little bit of clouds and stuff so far, but it's been a beautiful day. Beautiful weather. See what we get when we get closer to the marine layer that is Seattle, Washington. So where we're at right now on Sky Vector, we are just coming up. This is right back over here was Yellowstone. This is our next waypoint that we're just about to hit, and then this is Wade, and this is Wedak, Wade up here. And then once we get past that, then we start moving on, crossing the Panhandle of Idaho, then over here by Lewiston, just over the border, right at Lewiston here. Then we start to make get our descent into the Seattle area. So we just got to cross over these mountains right now. Yeah, beautiful flight. Probably ought to go make myself some more coffee as we fly here. Not sure if we'd probably get a handoff here. Take a look. Salt Lake City. Yeah, we might have a handoff to like 132.4 here. So might need to go ahead and think about making some more coffee. So I'm going to turn on some music, shut down. I'm going to be monitoring, but I'm going to go make some more coffee here for the second half of our flight. So I will be back in a little bit. All right, hey, I am back here. Got my new some fresh coffee. We are passing over still Wyoming here into Idaho. Take a look at where we're at. We just passed Wade. We've got 100 miles. Cross over that in no time here, as we are at Mach 0.80 at flight level 440. Got my hot coffee here. So everything is looking good in the neighborhood. We're coming across the little town of Dillon.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 16 approach. Generic 9er 1 Lima.
We go back in. Dillon. This beautiful, beautiful mountains now. I mean, once we pass,
Generic 062 contact Salt Lake Center on 128.
once we pass Dillon, then it's about another, it's 100 miles or so before we pass over a little town of Wisdom. Some high mountains, but there's just not much out here. There's the airport right there, right off the nose. This is Dillon Airport right there. Anybody else up here with us? No. Oh, there's somebody. Cessna 25C. C25C. Oh. There's somebody else, so we're getting a few people now.
Generic flight 90, you are 30 miles west. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
So we are over Dillon.
Approach via Charlie Papa November transition. Clear to Charlie Papa November.
Now we're in Yellowstone. So yeah, we are at Dillon, Wyoming.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 15 approach via Charlie Papa November transition. Clear to Charlie Papa November. Generic 590.
I mean, now we're into Montana. We're north of Wyoming. So now we are in Montana. We're heading northwest. T5S Blanco there is in the Airbus 310. So the Airbus 310 now has been released to us, a Microsoft Flight Simulator for the 40th edition. And it is a study level aircraft, meaning like all the buttons and everything can be pressed and operate and all of this kind of stuff. And so it's a really neat. I took it up for a pattern, just flew it in the pattern, and it's a neat Airbus. It's doesn't have the side stick like the A320. It's got the normal Boeing kind of yoke, and it's an older airplane. I really like it. I need to learn more about it, but I liked it already. It had the avionics were all separate, so it didn't have like nav and comm. It had ILS and navigation and ADF and all that, which I really liked. So yeah, I shot the ILS approach into San Francisco. Actually, I took off and just did a pattern, and then came back and shot the ILS. Yeah, it flies great. It's neat. It's this kind of big, bulbous looking airliner. Kind of reminds me of like a shortened 777. So 777. But there is Blanco at 35,000 feet, but we're up here at flight level 440, 44,000 feet in our business jet. So might as well go big, go home if we're going to be able to fly our own business jet. So I'm partial to the Cessna. So there's King Kill out there. He's flying the Kit Fox. Great airplane to fly in flight sim also. If you get the bundle, you get a whole bunch of different liveries with the Kit Fox. You can get Trent Palmer's Kit Fox. You can get Trent Palmer's home airport and a lot of off-field airports. So yeah, it's really neat. He's down there. Looks like probably flying in the back country of Idaho over there. We are coming up here on the little town of Wisdom. Is right off the nose here for us. The little town of Wisdom. We might be able to look down and see the snow-covered little airport down here in this town of Wisdom. You can see the valley that town would be in. Town of Wisdom here, right off the nose. If we do that, we got that range to cover right in front of us, and we'll be at WEDAC. The WEDAC waypoint. Make a slight left turn. Start heading a little bit more and more west. Then we just go into basically nothing country of Idaho till we get north of Lewiston and over here at Moscow and Pullman, right on the border. So the Moscow is in Idaho, and then Pullman, the town of Pullman, is in Washington State, and then we'll start thinking about our descent and approach and all that for landing. But it's been a beautiful flight here with this live weather. Got some other clouds developing now. See it back there? Some clouds. Probably just clouds for the what do you want to call it? The mountain, the wave action of the mountains. Just go ahead and just do a check. Engines look good. 44,000 feet. Coming up on WEDAC in 43 miles. Fuel looks good. Everything's in the green. So, looking good in the neighborhood. Some beautiful topography. And here we are crossing over Wisdom. The little town of Wisdom. So you can see the crossroad right there is the crossroads. That's on the VFR sectional chart. And so somewhere back over down in here, snow covered, probably be a little bit harder to see from, is then the little airport. Right, it's actually right down there is a little airport. Or where the road makes a little bend. You can actually see the town, right? But passing the right side of the cockpit there. Town of Wisdom. That's amazing. All right, now we've talked about this before, especially on the long flight, but right now we got a ground speed of 448 knots, right? So that's 500 something miles an hour, right? Over 500 something miles an hour. If we just say it's 600 miles an hour over the ground, right? That's 10 miles every minute that we are going, because 60 miles an hour is a mile a minute. So if you're going 600, that's 10 miles a minute. So that kind of gives us an idea of how far out that we need to descend. We're descending down into Seattle, so we'll be descending down from 44,000 feet. So we've got to then descend that much down. So 44, so basically what is that? That's you know, again, we're going to be 8 miles up, and so if you think about that, you know, so if you're doing a mile, if you're going a mile a minute, and so then if we descend down at, let's say, 2,000 feet per minute, right? Then that's going to take us what, like 22 minutes to descend down, right? It'll take us 44 minutes at 1,000. At 2,000, it'll take us 22 minutes. So you can kind of get an idea of the time of where we're at and where we actually need to start descending down, right? So think about that, you know. So if you say 2,000 feet per minute is going to be our descent rate, 22 minutes. Well, heck, in 22 minutes of how far then that we're traveling at 10 miles a minute. So that's, you know, what is that? You know, obviously as we go down, we're going to be slowing down, but you can get an idea then. So if it's going to take us 20 minutes to descend down, and we're going 10 miles a minute, well, then that's 200 and something miles, right? So we're going to be descending down pretty quickly once we start planning this. But we're going to obviously get stepped down probably by ATC. So we'll just got to keep that in mind, because sometimes I've had it where ATC in the flight sim does not let us step down quickly enough, or we've really got to be quick, like dump the spoilers, do 3,000 or 4,000 feet per minute, which is really kind of, so for a lot of people's ears, that might really hurt their ears, descending down that, you know, that much, even though we're pressurized and all that. But we are coming up here now on WEDAC, which is right over West Fork Lodge. That's cool. Trapper Peak. Let's see if we can discern. Oh yeah, okay, we got nice river valley here coming up. There's a major road. Yep, there's the major road also in there. You can see the major road coming up. Yep. So somewhere pretty cool, somewhere out here is West Fork Lodge. That's cool. Right off the nose here looks like the town of Connor. The little town of Connor. You can see how the high mountains are going to start, the Cascades here are going to start ending. So we're getting out of the snow level. Because we're going to be passing over Moose Creek, which is part of the United States Forest Service little airport, Moose Creek. They have a ranger station and stuff there. It's just after we pass into Idaho here, which we're just about to make this turn at WEDAC, so it's about to happen here. We'll make this turn. And go and start. There's our turn coming, and then we're going to start going across the panhandle of Idaho. But yeah, there's this couple little. There's the main highway. I think it's like Highway 93, and then down over here in these valleys, some other little airports, and sounds like a lodge. That sounds amazing. There's King Kill out there, and the Kit Fox down there in the Idaho backcountry airports that we've got. Got some other people. We got some clouds forming here because I am live weather here, so we got weather in front of us. We are ready to shoot the RNAV approach, runway 16 left into Seattle, which we've already done the 747 when we did the international flight, which took us, I did an all-day live stream, took us 10 hours, real time. You can see that on my YouTube channel. Also, if you haven't already, click that like button. It doesn't take anything, just click that like button. You don't have to subscribe, just click that like button. I have to say, I almost like likes more than subscribes, but I like subscribers too. But likers, maybe that's what I'll call them, likers.
205 to Alpha 12,000 feet. Generic November 205 to Alpha Salt Lake Center altimeter 30.48 continue as planned.
Yeah, over here, it looks like where the snow level stops right now, but somewhere out here, we'll see if we can pick up the Forest Service airports. We are making this. Let's see how the wind is. Yeah, the wind is. We still got a quartering headwind, 24 knots. So. You know, because if you actually do it right, you know, you get up in the jet stream, we could probably over the ground, you know, be supersonic. Not through the air, but over the ground. So. Just beautiful, beautiful topography out here, though, with these Cascades. I think these are the Cascades. No, we're going to be going. Maybe the Cascades are what we pass over into Washington State. Maybe these are just the Idaho Rockies. I don't really know. These are actually, I see it right here. These is the Bitterroot Range of the Rockies. Sure, we're not going to be able to pick out, but oh yeah, there's an airport right there. That's probably Moose Creek. Looks about right. The intersection of those two. See, like that right there. That is amazing. So now, like, I got to remember that Moose Creek. Come back and check that out. In like the Kit Fox or the Savage Cub or something like that. Yeah. Not much else here crossing over Idaho. We're going to get here into Orofino. A little town of Orofino on the Dorshack Reservoir. Before we cross over into Washington. Alright. Definitely getting some clouds forming now, some weather in front of us.
Cessna Uniform Mike contact Seattle Center on 123.905.
See ya.
Going to 123.905 Cessna Uniform Mike. Seattle Center, Cessna November Tree, 6 Uniform Mike flight level 440.
Cessna November Tree, 6 Uniform Mike Seattle Center. Continue descent as planned.
Where did that? Just looking to see about how that handoff actually happened. Seattle, yeah. Seattle, Salt Lake City, so yeah. Even on the high altitude chart where we crossed over. There it is. Switch over to Seattle. Very cool. What I'm looking at here, in case you're interested, is I'm looking at now the high altitude charts. There's our magenta flight path, and so we just crossed over this line right here where we went from Salt Lake City Center to Seattle Center. Just like we just made the switch over. That right there, that's amazing. So, alright, back to the old VFR charts, kind of get where things are at. Again, now we're coming kind of out of the high country. We are now still crossing over the panhandle of Idaho. Coming up on Orofino, and then we'll be making our next waypoint is actually right over the town of Pullman and Moscow, which is right on the border. So if we go into the airplane, that finite is right over the town. So what have we got? What have we got here for? Can't see because of the sun. We've got 82 miles. We're going roughly 10 miles a minute, so that's somewhere, you know, think about it. It's you know, you got to go 80 miles, so it's like 9-10 minutes. We're going a little slower than 10 miles a minute, so it'll take us a little longer than just 8 minutes. So about 10 minutes here, we'll be over that town. Of course, we can also look down and see probably the town of Orofino here coming up. And again, I've talked about this too. Uncle B, hey, Uncle B. I've been meaning to get a hold of you through Xbox. I think that's how we were chatting. Hey, first thing, thumbs up because you are amazing. I've been watching some of your stuff. I know that you were away for a while. I have to say I've done some pretty cool stuff. I've been trying to do some achievements here, Uncle B, in Flight Sim, but I just can't seem to get some of them to pop. I actually did an all-day live stream. I actually did the achievement where I flew from Bordeaux, France, all the way to Seattle, Washington in the 747. I got that achievement. It actually popped on landing. It was amazing. And so I've been trying to do some of the other ones, like the bush trips and all that. And I did a full bush trip. I didn't use any navigation assistance or anything like that. I actually never even looked at the VFR map, and it didn't pop for me and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I'll need to get back with you, man, so we can do some. Man, that was so much fun doing the formation flying with you. Are you? I think we've talked about this. So maybe through Xbox, the best way to get a hold of you and stuff like that, because you're not on Twitter. I really don't do Discord, so I only use YouTube and Twitter. So but we are flying to Seattle here from Denver, so we're less than an hour out here from Seattle. I just wanted a nice chill flight here. I really enjoy this the longitude here, the Cessna Citation, because I did my internship back in the day, back in the early 90s. Long time ago, at Cessna Aircraft Company in Wichita. So, all right, reach you on Xbox. Roger that. Roger that. Roger.
Generic 53 November contact Salt Lake Center on 133.4. Good day.
That's not us. I'll check it though. No, we're on Seattle Center. So, but yeah, we are just passing over here. I don't know how much you've seen here, but we are probably passing over, and they go to show Sky Vector here. We are probably coming up here on the town of Orofino. We're on high altitude. We're at flight level 440 here in the longitude. But next we'll have the towns of Moscow, Idaho, and Pullman, Washington, and then into Seattle. So that's what we're doing here. So just a nice chill flight. But yeah, I need to get I'm probably going to go back to, or probably go down to maybe one live stream and making some other content on my YouTube channel here toward the end of the year. I'll probably do something different for 2023 on my YouTube channel. I'm not really sure really what I want to do, Uncle B. I'll tell you, just because I go to, I guess I'll say I've been like influenced, is better, I guess probably be the best term, about, you know, YouTubers, and like, you know, you need to kind of have a niche, and, you know, what are your viewers, you know, come to your channel for, and, you know, and so I was like, oh, flight sim, oh, gaming, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. But no, reality, I'm Uncle Mike. I want people to come to my channel because I'm Uncle Mike, and, you know, I've got my own hobbies and things that I like to do, and that's really diverse. And, you know, I've got, like I said, a bunch of hobbies. I got, you know, my own problems, challenges, and all that in the world. And so I kind of want it to be the Uncle Mike channel and all the different things that I do. So I've got I've got almost 600 videos on my YouTube channel. And so I think I'm gonna make a new welcome video, a trailer for my video, and I think I'm gonna then go ahead and unlist and make all of those videos that I have private, not private anymore, and use playlists. And so if you want to come to my channel for gaming, there'll be playlists for that and all that. If you want to come and talk about, you know, health and weight, I'll just tell you, Uncle B, that was actually the why I started my YouTube channel back in 2019, was actually to be a vlog for weight loss. And I still got all those videos. I didn't delete them or anything. I just hid them. And so I'll, you know, make a playlist for that, for people who want to, you know, see that and all that, you know, because like I said, Uncle Mike here, I'm just a person too. Like I said, got my own problems, got my own hobbies, got my own things I like to do. So I'm thinking about, you know, not hiding things anymore on my YouTube channel. Oh. Not us. So, but I do like airplanes. I do like aerospace. I'm really looking forward to, you know, like a couple games coming out. Hogwarts Legacy coming out. Kerbal Space Program 2. Starfield. But I won't like stream all those. Maybe make some shorts or something like that. But, you know, I really like live streaming Flight Sim for this exact reason right here. Is that it's got, you know, segments. It's like a project. It's got segments, you know, takeoff and landing. But then once you get up here to cruise, you know, you can come over here and be like, you know, it'd be cool, Uncle B, you know, if you were sitting there in that right seat with me. You know, we're talking, chatting, having a good time. That's why I like. And also in my real life, I like exploring. I'm one of these people that really like driving. I know it's weird. But I like driving, and I like exploring. And so that's one reason why I really like Microsoft Flight Sim here, is because you kind of get to look down on Google Earth or Bing Maps, whatever, but Google Earth, and you get to explore. And then you can switch airplanes. Like we flew over Moose Creek back over here, and it looked like a really, I think that's what it was. Yeah, Moose Creek, which is the U.S. Forest Service little airport here on this flight. So it's like, man, I go back, get in the Kit Fox or the Cub or something like that and go explore that. You know, would I be able to do that in my real life? No, not really. So that's one of the main reasons that I really like Microsoft Flight Simulator here on the Xbox Series X. But I also like fantasy, and Cindy and I, my Aunt Cindy, your favorite gamer's favorite aunt, yeah, we are starting to play Dungeons and Dragons. I hadn't played Dungeons and Dragons in 37 years, and Pathfinder and all those kind of things since grade school and high school. And so we've started playing because we just bought the starter kit and started playing. It seems like she's having a good time. I'm having a great time coming up with little one-shot campaigns for us to play. So it's just, yeah, we're having a great time with that. So, all right, let's see if we can find out where we're at here. I think we passed, there could be the town. Oh, right here, right there. There's some type of waterway here. That could be Freeman down there, or Orofino. No, it's probably the town of Orofino. Then out here, I mean, it's gonna be a bigger city. You can see how it's you can see the farmlands and stuff coming up. This will be Moscow, Idaho, and Pullman, Washington off the nose. So let's go ahead and jump in the cockpit and see where we're at in terms of our next waypoint. Yep, Phi Nut is, yeah, we're only 20 miles, 17 miles out from Phi Nut. So had some other players up here. Oh, there we go. There's a A320. One dirty Q-tip. What a great gamer tag. One dirty Q-tip. Oh, flying the Airbus 320. So, well, hey, Uncle B, if you're there, tell me what you think about the new 40th anniversary edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Talk to me here. Talk to me, Goose. right, there's a river. All right, I got you. Yep. Yeah, we're coming up here on the towns of Moscow, Idaho, and then the border, and then Pullman, Washington. So start to see there's probably Orofino down here, maybe even right below us now. Is Moscow probably, and then right there is Pullman, and this is we're crossing over the border. You can literally see the I kind of like how Bing Maps does it, because that line right there with the discoloration is probably the border from Idaho to Washington. So yeah, that is a great way to explain it there, Uncle B. You are correct in that it is. You know, we got so many great stuff here. We're going to make our turn here at a waypoint. We got a short distance here, only like 43 miles to the next waypoint as we make the turn. But welcome to Washington State. Now we have now crossed over into Washington on our way to Seattle. But yeah, you're right. I had been wanting a DC-3 for a long time. That's in real life, the DC-3 is quite a handful on the ground and stuff. So I've kind of noticed though in the flight models, so on a lot of airplanes the tail like automatically comes up on tail draggers. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like the DC-3 in real life, you almost hold the brakes in power and you want to get that tail up as soon as possible to get the rudder up into the slipstream, so you have rudder control because you lock the tail wheel. And a lot of airplanes are that way, right? They're a beast on the ground because you have no rudder. It's the rudder is hidden behind the whole fuselage, right? Like a DC-3. But it seems as if you've got plenty of authority, and then a lot of times the tail just like automatically comes up. Like you push full forward for a while, and it doesn't come up, right? One of the better airplanes that it seems like you have control of bringing the tail up is one of my favorite airplanes in the sim, which is the Zlin Savage Cub. That's like my favorite airplane. Just fly around bush. I fly that so much. I did a whole full bush trip in it and stuff like that. It's hard because I fly complete controller. So if you're with the P factor, if you got to get used to just kind of like holding a trigger down for the rudder. Because I fly pretty much true to life. But yeah, the DC-3 was great. The cockpit of the de Havilland Beaver is one of my most, especially when you put it on just the regular, get rid of the GPS and just put it to the regular avionics, the old school avionics. Hands down, one of my most favorite cockpits that is in the flight sim. I like the old school stuff. I like all the steam gauges, all the old school, comms and navs and all this, not GPS, not all the glass cockpits and all this kind of stuff. Hands down, one of my favorite cockpits. Got the shivers all of a sudden. I don't know, maybe thinking about the de Havilland Beaver or something. But yeah, the helicopters, I tried to fly the helicopter. I like that it's a realistic flight model, and I basically got up there and I flew, and then but coming in for landing, that whole hover, that's tough, like it should be in a helicopter. So I got all cattywampus and I basically just put it down on the ground so I didn't crash. It probably was kind of a controlled crash, but it didn't register as a crash. I like the thermal stuff and the gliders because I have one of my first YouTube shorts I ever created, and also one of my first live streams.
Cessna uniform Mike contact Seattle Center on 119.225.
Good day to you, ma'am. We'll acknowledge that.
119.225 Cessna uniform Mike.
Call him up.
Seattle Center, Cessna November Tree, 6 uniform Mike flight level 440.
Cessna November Tree, 6 uniform Mike Seattle Center. Continue to Papa Delta Tango as planned.
Papa Delta Tango, as planned. All right, we are coming up on Odessa. Probably need to start thinking about stepping down here. We can request some flight level changes. But yeah, I like what they've done with the 40th anniversary. I've been live streaming some of the, like I said, the glider stuff was one of my first live streams I did was in the glider. I think that is fantastic. So much fun. Gives that challenge. I've been doing a lot of the landing challenges trying to complete those. I've been doing those on live streams just because it's a little bit more of a gaming element. Maybe people, I'll just have one up. You know, people might be more interested in watching that rather than coming in here just chatting as I fly. But yeah, it's getting to be an excellent, I'm just going to call it game, right? Simulator. It just has so much stuff that you can do. And so you're right that it's like a toy store, man. There's just so much, like, what do you want to play with first? You know, now we've got the upgrades for the Garmin, what is it, 530s and 430s or whatever it is. So that's been upgraded. There's been no upgrade yet for the G3000. That's what this all is. But it works pretty good. So, all right, what do we got here? We're just about to make the turn. We'll see what the distance is once we make the turn. Looks like we've got, actually let me see here, what have we got? Coming up next is then after Finite Odessa. Oh yeah, then we're basically into the arrival. So we're doing the Sky 01 arrival or Sky K01 arrival. So we could probably ask them for a, actually, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and
Seattle Center, Cessna
let's get down a little bit lower.
Request flight level tree 40.
Cessna Uniform Mike descend and maintain flight level tree 40.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 40 Cessna Uniform Mike.
All right, 340.
Generic 79er Mike contact Seattle Center on 123.95. Good day.
We go 1,500 feet per minute. I'm also going to go ahead and push this over.
123.95 for generic 79er Mike.
There we go. All right. Slow down on the speed bug there as we go ahead and start our descent. And so I just went ahead and asked for a lower. That way we're just ready to go. Because we're over Washington now. Down to flight level 340. Maybe get down into some of these clouds, make it a little interesting. Okay, we're still 450 knots. Ground speed 431 knots. Woo! Man, we are cruising. Got my fresh coffee. Figured we'd probably get some weather as we got over here by the coast and also the Cascades. All right, so we just passed that. I see Echo Papa Hotel there, the VOR. That is part of our standard arrival here into Seattle. We're going into Seattle, so you know, SeaTac. Runway 16 left is what's planned. So doing the Skyke, the Skyke, I'll call it Skyke 01, Sky K01 arrival for 16 left. I went ahead and go ahead and file for the RNAV 16 left approach.
Cessna Uniform Mike contact Seattle Center on 126.1. Good day.
We descend down. Like I said, I got some weather now for them. We are live weather, but we're not live time. I wanted the day flight so you can see everything.
Seattle Center, Cessna November tree 6 Uniform Mike is at flight level 405, descending flight level tree 40.
Cessna November tree 6 Uniform Mike Seattle Center, continue to Papa Delta Tango as planned.
Hey, no, hey, Uncle B, yeah, all good. All good. You're sitting in the right seat. I got it. My airplane. Got that phone call from the company. Gotcha. All right. A little bit of weather coming up, a little bit of clouds. We are descending down to flight level 340, 1,500 feet per minute. Let's see where we're at. We're on the Sky K01 standard terminal arrival, or standard arrival. File for the RNAV, runway 16 left approach. Definitely see how the topography just changes, right? I mean, you got the high plateau snow still. And you just get into these flat farmlands as you start to work your way in. As we are out over here passing the town of West Lake, Moses Lake. Gonna pass over Ephrata. Then we get back, and then we get into the we cross over the Cascade Mountains. Yeah, a lot of good backcountry flying over in the Cascade Mountains too. That's a really good place to fly. I've got some payware airports and stuff that are really, really good. So, but we got, like I said, the Cascade Mountains coming up.
Generic 708, contact Seattle Center on 132.6.
So we're coming over, like I said, once we get to EPH, we're actually, I say EPH, Echo Papa Hotel, because we're actually in the arrival. So now we got to go. So then we go to Sky.
Generic 332, contact Seattle Center.
If I can find these here for Sky.
Good day. Seattle Center, generic November 09.
I'm just going to go program in some of our, and then the
generic November 09er 021 Seattle
Uvis.
Center altimeter 30.48 continue as planned.
Uvis, and then the approach. That's the arrival, and then the approach, which looks like at PAE. Papa Alpha Echo, which is Payne. There we go. That's the start of the approach. Got it. Snohomish County, Payne Field.
8,200 feet generic. Report them in sight.
All right.
Generic 021 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at 8,000 feet generic. Report them in sight.
So we are coming up here on Echo Papa Hotel. VOR, which is the start of our arrival.
Generic 021 traffic in sight.
Which is
Generic
Ephrata,
traffic in sight.
which is the town of Ephrata, and Ephrata Municipal, which is down there. So there is Ephrata Municipal. So now we are really officially on our standard arrival. Start to see the snow in the clouds from the mountain effect out over there where sparse fauna, I don't know, but sparse is out there in the Cessna 172, 6,000 feet. Starting to pick up some other gamer gamer tags here now. We get into a little bit of a more populated area where people will probably be flying. Now you can see the mountains through there, snow-capped mountains. And let's go ahead, and I am going to go ahead and start doing, again, if you don't have one of these, just consider it, especially for real life pilots. Even though I'm a flight simmer, I went ahead and bought one of these. It's from Missionary Bush Pilot. I've got an affiliate link actually down in my description below if you're interested in getting one of these. But it's a checklist box, has probably some of the major components that you need to go ahead and check off while you're takeoff or landing. And so I've got everything down because we are now coming in for landing here. So got selectors and speed brakes, and so we have already gone ahead and I plugged for auto spoilers there, so we don't have auto braking in this airplane. Mixture and harness, we don't have to worry about mixture, but let's check fuel. Fuel looks good. All right, everything looks good. All right, switches and carb heat, we don't need to worry about that. Everything is looking good. We're just about to make a little bit of a right turn here, just a little slight adjustment, you might won't even notice it. All right, radios and instruments, I think we're all set up. I think everything's programmed in. Let's go ahead and do a check over here and just make sure that where we know there is the approach mode. That is the button for the approach mode. We'll probably go ahead and using that. So that looks like that's all set up. And then we can talk about abort VREF. VREF, we got the bugs programmed in. So come over here, we can actually go to home, we go to speed bugs, and so approach is 150 knots. Well, we want 150 knots. All right, we are coming over the Cascades, are right off the nose there. All right, so VREF, 150 knots, go ahead and check that off. Everything else now is abort, emergency procedures, flaps, and landing clearance. So, and again, I have checked that off on my little switches here on my checklist box. You can get that again from Missionary Bush Pilot. Affiliate link down in the description below. So, all right, if you was interested, here's where we're looking. We just passed Euphrates. We are back over here at this VOR. We're on our standard now arrival. Coming up here, we're going to be basically making then a hard left turn, onto the RNAV 16 left here. And our initial approach fix, it looks like to be right over Payne Field, Snohomish Payne Field here in the Seattle area. So that is where we're at. So very simple arrival and onto the approach here. So no procedure turns, nothing, hold in lieu of procedure turn, nothing like that. Just come on in. Of course, we'll get vectors here as we drop down, but we got to get over these mountains here, because mountains, we've got safe altitudes of around 8,000 feet. So, but we can bring up the RNAV. So I have programmed in RNAV 16 left. So with that, Payne is our initial, and at Payne we need to be, the initial approach fix is Helfer. Well, the initial approach fix is Kinmo. We should be at about 4,000 feet, at or above 4,000 feet. Over Payne we should be 5,000 feet. So once we get kind of over the mountains here, probably ask for a step down if they don't give it to us initially. So pretty simple approach. We can go all the way down to 700 feet. So, all right, so what I'm going to do now, we're starting to get everything showing up. You can kind of see our arrival. You see all the fixes for the RNAV there. So I'm going to go ahead and come down in here and start to put in a much, So we're already at 35 miles. So yeah, we'll do 35 miles. Range. We are at flight level 340. Cool, Uncle B. Yeah, we're just passing over the Cascades. We're on the arrival. We stepped down to 34, flight level 340. You can go ahead and looks like you go ahead and speed up too. Get this thing cranking again. That's one nice thing about the Cessna Citation Longitude that you got here on the
Cessna Uniform Mike contact Seattle Center on 132.6. Good day.
Is this got auto throttles and stuff? So it's a lot of fun then.
132.6 for Cessna Uniform Mike. Seattle Center, Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike flight level tree 40.
Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike Seattle Center. Continue to chins as planned.
Roger that. Continuing on. Everything is looking good. We'll need to start our descent here. Like I said, I kind of like to ask for drops down early. Sometimes they give it to you're coming in so fast that they don't give you the step downs in time, and so it's like.
Cessna Uniform Mike descent and maintain flight level 200. Keep speed not above 270 knots.
All right.
Descend and maintain flight level 200. Keep speed not above 270 knots. Cessna Uniform Mike.
All right, so we're going to dial it back to 260. You're going to hear the landing gear because it's going to bring us back to idle. And then flight level 270. Oh. 270. Go ahead and drop it down. Let's go 2,000 feet per minute. Let's go ahead and make sure. I think it was flight level 200, not 270. Yep, it's 270 on the speed, but flight level. There we go. And you come over here, it's pretty cool. If you actually push that button, now the altimeter will be every 1,000 or every 100 instead of every 1,000 when you go to switch it. So I'm just getting prepped up in case there's, they want me to go down to 7,900 feet rather than just every 1,000. Now it's every 100. So got a hell of a headwind here, 31 knot headwind right now as we are dropping down here through flight level 320.
Seattle Center, generic November 42743.
So you get a lot of times modern jets, when you go to idle, they'll give you they think you're landing, so they think you're at idle. Ooh, a little bit of wave action there, a little turbulence. They'll think that you're at idle for landing and your gear aren't down. So it'll give you a warning, landing gear, when you go to idle. So I'm not sure if there's a way that I can actually turn that off, temporarily. So that might happen here as we're going down our descent to flight level 200 at 2,000 feet per minute. We are below 270 knots.
Cessna Uniform Mike contact Seattle Center on 120.3.
All right, getting a lot more players popping up here.
120.3 for Cessna Uniform Mike.
We'll watch for any icing
Seattle Center, Cessna November Tree
that we've got.
Mike is at flight level.
See how stable. You can see that we're getting some frame rate drops here. So I'm going to go ahead. You see all the players. I'm going to turn those off.
Continue to ready as planned.
All right, continue as planned. I'll turn off all those name tags so maybe we don't get. Let's come over here and
Generic 425
they're descending down.
on one tree for decimal 905. Good day.
I'm just looking down at what we've got in terms of all kinds of fun stuff. This is all engine stuff. We are already, ground spoilers are all ready to go.
Going to one tree for decimal 905. Generic 425.
Nice protection here. We'll watch for that. We know where it's at now, so we'll watch and just make sure we don't get any ice accumulation. We will see it on the window. We do have that all on because I fly, like I said, true to life. All right, lights are all up here. Everything is on. I've had the landing lights on the whole time. Sorry. Good. There's the Cascade Mountains right out the front window there. All right, now just so you're aware, I've got it ranged at 35. So roughly, basically, then it's 35 miles from top to bottom here on this. Just so you know, so when something pops out right here, it's basically that it's 17.5 miles in front of us, just so you're aware. That's how the range works. Beautiful Cascade Mountains as we're passing over with just a little bit of weather on them, dropping some snow. We are descending down to flight level 200. If you start to take a look at our approach, we need to be down at 6,000 by the time we get to Papa Alpha Echo, which is Snohomish Payne Field VOR. And there we'll basically then make a left turn and get onto the RNAV. We're only 1/6 left is what I'm expecting. That's what I filed for. That's where we should get, so. Passing through flight level 240, going to flight level 200, 20,000 feet, 20,000 feet. Going right through this valley right here in front of us. That's cool. Oh, was that thunder? Is that lightning I just saw? Like I said, I do have live weather on, so this cloud right here at 11 o'clock. I don't know if it was just the animation of the cloud or if there was actually animation of lightning in there. All of a sudden I just saw that. Interesting. All right. Passing through flight level 220, going to flight level 200. Going up on our waypoint of Skyco. Yep. So there's us. See if we can see anything of that right down in here. There's a little Skycomish State. That's why we got this waypoint. Little town of Skycomish. That's Skycomish. Little town down here right below us. They've got an airport, a little landing strip somewhere down there. Be back behind us. We might have.
Cessna uniform Mike descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Keep speed not above
250, not above 250. Roger that. Let's go ahead and bring it back 240. There's that landing gear warning as it goes to idle. Let's go ahead and acknowledge.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Keep speed not above
12,000 feet. You see I changed it to every 100 now, so 12,000 feet. Let's go ahead and same thing. Let's go down 2,000 feet per minute. Oh, somebody else here with us. We got traffic above us. I think they're on the arrival with us. I don't know if it's because if they're smaller, if that means they're above us or below us. It doesn't give altitude. I don't see any contrails.
Cessna uniform Mike, you are 41 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 16
There they are.
left
I just saw the dot way up there.
Alpha Echo transition. Clear to Papa Alpha Echo.
There we go. Oh.
Cessna uniform Mike, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 16 left approach via Papa Alpha Echo transition. Cleared to Papa Alpha Echo Cessna uniform Mike.
Alright. She gave me 5,000 after the 6,000. I'll go ahead and descend down to 5,000. I'm gonna go ahead and slow us down too. You're gonna get that warning again. As it goes to idle. And again, I don't know how to turn that off. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. Got some icing. I was worried about that.
Cessna uniform Mike, contact Seattle Center on 128.5. Good day.
Going to 128.5 Cessna uniform Mike.
We're just gonna have, I don't know how to turn off the landing gear warning.
Seattle Center Cessna
And clearly I
November
could
6 uniform Mike is at 14,700 feet, descending 5,000
bring the speed back up.
Cessna November tree, 6 uniform Mike Seattle Center altimeter, tree 0.3. Continue to Papa Alpha Echo as planned.
By 220. Nope, there's. Alright, we'll go right there just to get that warning to come off. Oh, I just, you gave me a. I don't know if I missed a call there. Nope, we're good. Still descending down. Got some icing there we had to be concerned about, but I don't think so. No, we're still below freezing, so we might have some precipitation here as we're coming down through. We got the icing off. Turn on all the anti-ice stuff. Taxi level pad, emergency, wings, safety, seat belts. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. We'll go ahead. Let's get out. Never mind. Floodlights.
Seattle Center, generic November
Panel.
27671
Turn on that just in case we need it.
Generic November 27671 Seattle Center altimeter, tree 0.
All right, we are. You can see the turn on to the RNAV now.
Generic 671, you are 71 miles south. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect vectors, visual runway tree.
All right, we're gonna have to listen to the warning. I'm gonna slow us down.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Descend and maintain
What's happening?
11,000 feet. Expect vectors, visual runway tree 5 approach. Generic 671.
Not really sure why it just made that big turn.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Do I have
Landing gear.
flaps? Gear operating 230 knots. So we can go ahead and lower the gear. I'm lowering the gear.
Landing gear.
Help slow us down. Get some drag. It was some little thing that just happened here in our navigation. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why. Little blip there. All right, so now we can start slowing down here. Gear flaps 250, so I could actually use those as speed brakes too. So 1 notch of flaps coming in. That'll help slow us down. We're still under auto throttle, so everything's looking good there. I've got Payne Creek Snohomish in sight, so really don't. You can see all the Olympic mountains out there on the Olympic Peninsula. Looks like it's really going to be a visual, but we'll do the RNAV. All right, remember 150 knots is our VREF. Let's go ahead and come back to 175 knots.
Seattle Center, generic November 7859er.
175 knots.
Generic November 7859er to Seattle Center altimeter, 30.30, continue.
We're descending down to 5,000 feet. Look at that. That's a good looking bird right there. Alright, we're going to go cockpit mode here for the rest. There's a lot of scenery that gets loaded in, so we're just going to go ahead and stay in the cockpit mode for the remainder of the flight here. So, alright, we're coming up on our turn. Sitting down to 5,000 feet. And we're under 200 knots. Next notch of flaps coming in. Help slow us down to 175 knots. So we're in this 200 foot per minute descent. That'll help slow us down. All right. Snohomish Field. There's Payne Field's right over there. We're about to start making a slow turn here. Got an airplane behind us, looks like. All right, 100 feet to go. Looking good. Look at that. Look at that. That's a beautiful airplane. Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful airplane. There we go. We'll go switch over that view and that view. There we go. Shouldn't really change views. A lot of scenery out here. Gives a good opportunity of a crash, so. Oh, there. Connection lost. There we go. There's part of it. Just. All right, we're going to go VREF. Flaps. There's Payne Creek. That is basically like our initial approach fix right here. And now we're back connected. Welcome back, everybody.
Cessna Uniform Mike contact Seattle approach on 120.4. Good day.
120.4 for Cessna Uniform Mike.
There's Payne Field right there below us.
Seattle approach Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike 5,000 feet.
Cessna November Tree 6 Uniform Mike Seattle approach altimeter 30.29er. Continue to Kenmo as planned.
All right. We are turning inbound here on the RNAV. I'll go ahead and see what happens. Might crash on us. Like I said, a lot of scenery up here. Yeah, it's a really neat airport because you got the big runway, and then you've got that little parallel runway there. If you really want to practice, you know, landing and stuff. I like Snohomish, Paint Creek, or Paintfield. All right, according to this, we need to step down. I'm going to go ahead and ask them to step us down. Nope, they aren't going to give it to us, so we're kind of on our own here. We should be at, according to this, we should be at 4,000 feet. Wind is light, so I'm not worried about that. If we need to come down fast, we'll come down fast, so. Come over here. Let's go ahead and just zoom out. There's Kinmo right there. So at Kinmo, we need to be at 4,000 feet. So we're going to stay here at 5,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So now when something comes on the board here, it's going to be at 5 miles out. So that, like Zed Dickey, that's for the parallel runway. So that's 5,000. So the whole height of the display is 10 miles, so I would imagine here that at some point they should step us down to 5,000 feet. But we're set. Look at that, that's beautiful. Gear down, flaps down. On the RNAV, 1-6 left. See all the waypoints there for parallel runways coming up. Those are not us. We're looking for Kinmo. All right, outside air temperature now is also so. All the anti-ice stuff off. We don't need to worry about that anymore. All right, Kinmo at or above 4,000. Kinmo. Just the approach rate. Once we get to Helzer, we need to be at 4,000. Everything is looking good so far. We're pretty much ready to go for landing. If I look, we got indication. Flaps are already full. We turned on the auto spoilers already. But we are ready for landing. So checklist box, as I mentioned before, so VREF is already set up for 150. We've already done that. We've got missed approach. Missed approach is climb straight out to 2,000 feet and then on to 164 degrees, 5,000 feet to Milt. So that is then in hold. So that is the missed approach. So there we are, go there. Flaps are all set and we are ready to go, and we're just waiting for landing clearance. Now we're getting to see the
Cessna uniform might descend and maintain.
There's our 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Cessna uniform Mike.
right, dropping down. There's Kinmo. We're going to be at 4,000 feet at Kinmo. We need to be at 4,000 feet for Helzer, and there's Helzer, so this will get us down here. We're all set to go. Gear is down, flaps are down. Checklist is complete. We do not have landing clearance yet. I see the runway in lights for the 3 parallel runways up here at SeaTac. We're going to 16 left. Is landing 16 left. Beautiful though, look at that. Wow. It seems like there's better performance here with the 40th anniversary edition, so we are at 150 knots. That is programmed to the auto throttles. We'll turn those off here once we want to hand fly the plane down to the ground.
Cessna uniform, Mike descend and maintain 3,200 feet.
All right, once it's down 3,200.
Descend and maintain 3,200 feet, Cessna uniform, Mike.
Part of this is because of RNAVs, and ATC literally steps you down every single way. So there's Carfo, and then they're probably going to give us Douglas at 1,900 feet. There is Seattle out there. You see that Pike Place Market? Like Pike Place coffee from Starbucks? Imagine that, huh? Alright, let's go ahead and get view set up. View is set up. We are descending down here to Carfo. Carfo on the RNAV. This is what I'm looking at over here on my second screen. Looking at the...
Cessna uniform, Mike, you are 11 miles north of Seattle. Contact Seattle Tower on 120.905 when
Alright, we're inbound on the approach.
Tower on 120.905 Cessna uniform, Mike.
Wind has got a little bit of a crosswind from the left.
Seattle Tower, Cessna November Tree, 6 uniform, Mike 10 miles north, inbound RNAV Yankee runway, 16 left approach.
Cessna November Tree, 6 uniform, Mike Seattle Tower. Altimeter tree 0.3 wind 115 at tree. Cleared RNAV Yankee runway 16 left approach.
Right. We got landing clearance, approach clearance.
Cleared RNAV Yankee runway 16 left
Approach clearance, we don't have landing clearance. They'll give that to us here in just a little bit. Alright, here we go, my airplane. Check and make sure auto throttles are off. My airplane. We are high. Do we dip?
Cessna uniform, Mike wind 115 at tree. Cleared to land runway 16 left.
Clear land, 16 left.
Cleared to land runway 16 left Cessna uniform.
We're still at VREF, 150 knots, but I'm just bringing us down here. You gotta get down. Alright, 16 left, continuing. We are now on the visual. Still high. Still VREF, 150 knots. Trim. Still high. Still VREF, 150. Little bit of a Turbulence there. Really diving it down here, trying to get it on the glide slope right here at the end. We'll get there though. We'll get there. We're still 800 feet above the ground. We're good. Alright, power's coming in. We're about to start getting one red, looking good.
500.
Two red, looking good. Let's get back on glide slope. There we go. Beautiful. Nicely done, Uncle Mike. Two red. My airplane, huh? VREF. I don't want to duck under too much here. Airplane on the runway. Alright. Gonna land a little long there. Here we go. Spoilers coming out. Drag buckets coming out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is wicked cool right there. Oh yeah, that's old school buckets. 60 knots. Buckets coming in. Let's see where we want to go. We'll go left.
Cessna uniform, Mike turn, next taxiway.
Roger that. Spoilers coming in. Brakes for the turn. Woohoo! Thank you, Uncle B.
Cessna uniform, Mike contact.
I had to recover there because a lot of times, like I said, ATC, they give you the step down and it's too late. And I don't want them yelling at me. You know?
Going to 121.7 Cessna uniform, Mike.
Alright, let's go ahead. Put the brakes on just for a moment. Let's, we're not going to call up ground yet. Let's go ahead and bring the flaps in. Everything is looking good in the neighborhood. Parking brake, that's the parking brake warning. Let's go ahead and turn off. Let's turn on taxis. Turn off landings. It has a HUD, but it doesn't work, in case you're wondering. And let's go ahead now and call up ground. And let's go ahead. We're going to go to gates.
Ground Cessna November Tree 6 uniform. Mike request taxi to the gate.
Cessna November Tree 6 uniform Mike taxi to gate Bravo 4 via taxiway November Bravo.
There we go.
Taxiing to gate Bravo 4 using taxiway November Bravo. Cessna uniform Mike.
So another thing that I really like about, I think it was before though the 40th anniversary. I think it was the update we had just before that where you could actually toggle the assistance here for the taxi ribbon. So I just got it on my keyboard, so I can just toggle it on and off. So you could actually, like, now it's cool because now you can actually like go like, oh, okay, that's where I'm supposed to be heading, and then you can turn it off. So that's really neat. And then also the toggle of all the names. You can toggle that on and off. That's definitely a better quality of life. All right, well, with this little taxi here, I think this is where I'm just going to go ahead and call it. I'm not going to go shut down or anything like that. So I'm just going to go. Let's go ahead and come over here and chat. Let me go ahead and turn off game sound. So I appreciate you joining me, Uncle B. Hey, thumbs up because you are amazing. Any lurkers out there? Thumbs up because you are amazing. But yeah, we just flew here from Denver to Seattle here in the Cessna Citation Longitude. Nice little flight, nice little chill flight, so I can enjoy my Sunday coffee. Hope you were able to do that too. My next live stream will be in a week. So it'll be next Sunday after the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving. So enjoy your holiday if you are in the U.S. And if you are not, then enjoy just your week. That'll be have a fun time, whatever you are doing. And remember, I'm running a giveaway for a $50 US gift code once I reach 500 subscribers. And so you can read the description of that giveaway down in the description below. And yeah, with that, subscribe if you haven't. Click that like button if you do. Share and comment. Come join me in chat in a future live stream. With that, game on, because I'm your favorite gamer's favorite uncle. I'm Uncle Mike. Bye, everybody. Wow, what a great flight. What a great airplane. Nice to see Uncle B back. You jump into his channel, anybody else? So yeah, very fun. Now I get to go and enjoy my Sunday.